Developing now, the cruise crisis is almost over. The Carnival Triumph is docked in Mobile.
Plus, why drug agents left with sweet smiles after they went on a meth lab bust. The news starts now.
Live from Alabama's news leader, this is ABC 3340 News at 10.
The Carnival Triumph is now docked in Alabama. The ship arrived at a dock in Mobile less than an hour ago, but many passengers still have a journey ahead as they board buses to New Orleans or Texas. Good evening. I'm Dave Baird.
And I'm Brenda LeDunn. Thanks for joining us tonight. The cruise crisis is almost over for about 3,000 passengers and 1,000 crew members. Some passengers on the crippled Carnival Triumph even spelled out help on the deck of the ship today as it was being towed into Mobile. A snapped tow line delayed tonight's arrival, but passengers are now going to get long-awaited relief for passengers stranded for days with little heat or power and toilets that don't work and a dwindling food supply. Well, the night team's Corey McGinnis is in Mobile right now. He joins us live from the dock. Corey?
Well, Brenda, as you said, the nightmare is finally over for these passengers. They actually arrived here around 9:15 today. All you really hear is cheers and just the feeling of anticipation to finally see their friends and their families. Now, there's about 4,000 people on board, and now they can hopefully relax after a long, weary trip. Now, the ship's engine caught fire, and these folks were stuck in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. Now, the CEO of Carnival actually spoke to the media while the ship came in. He did apologize for this happening. He did apologize but the family and friends, they are excited that everything is back to normal, that these passengers will be with their loved ones. Now, spokesperson Terry Thornton with Carnival, he says the ship will be taken into a nearby facility to get checked into, and we're also told it'll take some time for the passengers to actually make their way back down here. They're actually going to come right through that walkway through here, but it will take some time for the passengers to be with their family and friends. Reporting live in Mobile, Corey McGinnis, ABC 3340.
What an ordeal. Well, the Triumph set out from Galveston on February 7th for a 4-day cruise. 3 days later, a fire in the engine room disabled the propulsion system and knocked out most of the ship's power. Tugboats arrived 1 day later. On Thursday, Carnival announced that it has canceled a dozen planned cruises for the Triumph.
And the Triumph is based in Galveston and is registered in the Bahamas. Now, the ship made its first voyage in 1999. At full capacity, it holds 3,400 passengers and a crew of about 1,100. It has 14 decks and cruising speed of 21 knots. That's about 24 miles per hour. So stay with ABC 3340 and Corey McGinnis tomorrow morning. He's staying the night in Mobile and will report on the arrival of the Carnival Triumph. You can see his reports tomorrow morning on Good Morning Alabama. It starts at 4:30. And a preliminary hearing is set for next month for the man accused of threatening middle school students with a gun. An initial court appearance for Ryan Sims is set for March 27th. He's charged with 5 counts of kidnapping and 1 count of making terrorist threats. Police say he entered Chelsea Middle School Tuesday armed with a gun and held 5 girls at gunpoint inside a locker room. Sims could face 10 years to life in prison for each count.
A Birmingham police officer is charged with menacing after an apparent fight with her ex-husband's wife. Officer Carletta Walker turned herself in to Hueytown Police last Thursday. Police did not release specific information about the altercation. Officer Walker has been reassigned to administrative duties. She is one of 4 Birmingham police officers arrested in recent weeks. Well, a Tide wide receiver accused in a robbery and credit card fraud case says he wants to go home to Florida. Attorneys for Eddie Lee Williams asked a judge to let him go to Panama City. They say Williams would be in the custody of his mother. No word yet on a ruling. Also, no word on whether the 3 other players accused in the case have lawyers.
Central Alabama businesses found themselves caught in a scam. They thought they donated to school athletic programs, but instead lined the pockets of scammers who only claimed they were fundraising. Now, Hoover's athletic director told us they caught companies peddling calendars and school ads inside their sports programs.
This year, I'm hearing it more. You know, I've heard about it in Shelby County. I know that it's happening in other parts of the state of Alabama. And, you know, I think that again, what we're trying to do is just get the message out to all of our people that support all of the kids in our school and our athletic programs.
And Miles says Pelham's school system had the same problem. Schools are encouraging businesses to contact them first before making a donation to the companies claiming to work for districts. Well, a new lawsuit targets state education leaders in their takeover of the Birmingham City Schools.
2 Birmingham School Board members, residents, and members of the Alabama Education Association call the state takeover unconstitutional. The night team's Sarah Snyder joins us to explain why.
Well, a group of people here in Birmingham accuses the entire State Board of Education of violating federal law. They claim state law cannot override the power citizens have to vote for board members.
What's being done at the board not only affects educators, it affects the citizens of Birmingham.
The lawsuit is filed by 2 residents, an AEA member, and board members Virginia Volker and Emmanuel Ford. It accuses State Superintendent Dr. Tommy Bice, State-appointed Chief Financial Officer Dr. Ed Richardson, and the State Board of Education of violating federal law.
Bice and Richardson and the State School Board have abused their power by overruling the elected representatives of the people of Birmingham.
It claims a state law cannot usurp the federal law that allows people to vote for board members. The lawsuit also says that Dr. Ed Richardson overrides board decisions each time the board votes against the state plan.
The only thing we're saying is there needs to be some kind of checks and balances so that Dr. Richardson does not have the authority to just come in and on a whim, on a hunch, just come in and take all personnel actions, change policies and procedures because he sees fit. If the board votes with him and he agrees with it, fine. If they don't, then I'm going to override you. That's not democracy.
We spoke with Dr. Ed Richardson this afternoon. He told us he believes this is an attempt to delay getting the Birmingham board back on sound financial footing. And a lengthy court battle may even mean delays come time for school this fall.
If the court caused this to be delayed for a period of time, it could extend the period of time for intervention, or it could delay us making decisions in a timely way, which could affect very negatively the opening of school next fall.
The AEA secretary says his aim in the case is to put the power back in the hands of the elected board members. The case was filed in federal court on Tuesday.
Nice to see the sun back across Alabama today. It's a cool night tonight. James Spann back in the Weather Center. It's 36 now in Gadsden. The cool spot, Fort Payne, they've got 34. Birmingham and Tuscaloosa coming in at 41. Let's go to our Skycam network. This is the view coming from the top of the Daniel Building in downtown Birmingham. High today was 56. A pretty good chance we'll see 60 tomorrow. But more big changes coming up this weekend. I've got that full forecast coming up in just a bit. Dave?
James, the complicated process of redistricting Jefferson County is getting even murkier. A third proposed plan for redrawing district lines is now in play. It comes as commissioners have been accused of trying to pull more voting boxes into their districts, and others have been accused of trying to push blacks into just 2 districts. But now most commissioners favor the first plan offered up, which calls for the fewest changes to district lines. The lines must be redrawn based on the census data to evenly distribute the county's population. Well, Alabama's getting closer to repaying nearly $500 million it borrowed to cover state budgets. The state Senate today approved a bill mandating the repayment of $437 million. The money was taken from the Alabama Trust Fund. State representatives had already approved the bill, but now they must review an amendment added in the Senate.
Well, the first guests are now in their rooms at Birmingham's newest hotel. The $50 million Westin Birmingham opened today. The 294-room hotel is one of many new businesses coming to the Uptown District. ABC3340 was there when the first guest checked in. It was comedian D.L. Hewley. He reflected on why his check-in made a statement about Birmingham's history and progress.
I think in particular for Birmingham, it wasn't really, that long ago where I wouldn't have been allowed to stay here. Now I'm the first guy here.
And Mayor William Bell says more businesses near the Westin will be opening soon. Federal health workers want to hear from people in Birmingham about environmental conditions near a 35th Avenue Superfund site. The Department of Health and Human Services has prepared a report on pollution related to the Walter Koch plant. Now, pollution problems affected neighborhoods including Harriman Park, Collegeville, and Fairmont. A public question and comment session will be held February 19th from 6:30 to 8:30 in the evening. It will be at the Hudson K-8 school.
Well, people in Homewood broke into dance tonight in the name of stopping violence. A 1 billion rising flash mob hit the sidewalk of Soho Square this evening. Dancers planned the event as part of the international 1 billion rising campaign. It's an awareness campaign to stop violence against women. There was another dance-off earlier in the day, also dedicated to the 1 billion rising campaign. The Lovelady Center hosted an outdoor dance event at its thrift store in Irondale. People could sponsor dancers to raise money to fight violence against women. The cause is a concern for the Lovelady Center. It works with women who have been the victims of violence.
Here, myself included, I lost my hearing due to a domestic violence situation, so I am all the more an advocate for this cause to show that he didn't take anything from me. Jesus gave me back my voice.
People in about 200 countries participated in today's Day of Action.
A Texas-based energy firm is moving forward on 2 wind turbine projects in northeast Alabama. Pioneer Green Energy announced plans to build the Shinbone Wind Energy Project, an 8-turbine facility near Leesburg. It will also create an additional 40-turbine wind farm across the Etowah County line. The Etowah County project is separate from the Shinbone project. A meth lab investigation ends with the sweet send-off for drug agents. A security flaw causes headaches for iPhone users. Police get proof a man suspected of killing officers died in a cabin fire.
Thanks. Tonight, Josh Groban sings and unveils his new line of love pills, and the very gifted Rachel Weisz is here to spend all of Valentine's night with me.
I'm actually going home right after the show.
To spend some of Valentine's night with me.
What do you need to sign in?